Pickup trucks are great, aren't they? I mean, they're capable of carrying large loads, be it hay bales or supplies home from the DIY store. They can tow heavy trailers while still being perfectly suitable for the daily commute. And as our writer Morgan notes, they're also great for camping and off-roading, at least if you have a larger all-wheel drive pickup. But they're also not very great on fuel efficiency. Luckily for pickup fans like me, I mean, I grew up on a farm, so it goes as read that I'll like pickups. There's been an influx of new electric pickups announced in recent years that are, fingers crossed, coming to market very shortly. These include the Tesla Cybertruck, the Bollinger B2, the Hummer EV, the Lordstown Endurance, as well as the Ford F-150 and rumoured electric pickups from Chevrolet and Ram. One of the companies that's hoping to bring an electric pickup to market is Rivian. It might feel like a brand new company, but it's actually a little older than you might think because it was founded back in 2009 and remained in stealth mode for 9 years. Rivian's original intention had been to bring an autonomous electric vehicle to market. However, it quickly shifted gears to making what it calls adventure vehicles instead. Of course, electric too. At the 2018 LA Auto Show, it unveiled the R1T electric pickup and its sibling, the R1S SUV. The original production schedule for both of these vehicles has slipped over time, partly due to the coronavirus pandemic and other things, but from an update earlier this week, we now have more concrete figures, both for production dates and product specifications. The R1T Launch Edition is due to start deliveries in early June next year, and the Launch Edition R1S will begin deliveries later the same summer. This video, though, is going to focus on the R1T. Oh, and if you would like to see a comparison between the R1T, the Cybertruck, and the Bollinger B2, you can actually see that here. Let's start with new information from Rivian before reminding ourselves of some of the specs and features that we've known about for some time. Since we last did a video on Rivian, it has managed to improve vehicle specifications, as well as lower the price of certain models as well. So let's look at that now. Like Tesla, Rivian will not be launching the cheapest edition of the R1T first. The so-called Launch Edition R1T will begin deliveries of June of 2021 and cost $75,000 or equivalent. Customers who spring for that Launch Edition offer will get complimentary wheel upgrades, special Launch Edition badging, and access to an exclusive Launch Green body colour. Reading between the lines, it looks like the Launch Edition R1T will continue shipping until around January 2022, at which point Rivian will launch some of its other R1T variants. Then, the Launch Edition R1T will lose its extra badging and become the upper spec variant of the R1T, called the Adventure Edition. Despite losing the Launch Edition badging, the Adventure R1T will keep that $75,000 sticker price, but the Explore R1T will be sold for $67,500. Both editions will be sold with over 300 miles, that's 482 kilometers of range as standard. Around the same time, we understand Rivian will also begin deliveries of the highest range R1T variant, which offers 400 miles, 643 kilometers or more of range per charge. We don't have the price for that one, nor do we have the price of a 250 mile, 402 kilometer lower range variant. But if you consider the fact that the $67,500 Explorer Edition will be sold with a minimum range of over 300 miles, remember that's 482 kilometers, then it's fair to expect the high range variant to be far more and the lowest range variant to cost considerably less. As usual, when we have more pricing about those two variants, we'll share. Now we should probably talk about what is included in the different trims. The Adventure and Explorer specifically. The less premium Explorer edition of the R1T will come standard with a manual bed cover, a more basic sound system, heated seats, driver lumbar support, and a vegan leather interior with recycled floor mats. That's floor mats made of recycled material. For those who spring for the Adventure R1T, they'll get an off-road ready underbody shield, a powered bed cover, a better sound system, and a more premium interior, which includes heated and ventilated seats, passenger lumbar support, and several other high-end things that we're not going to go into, because Rivian actually has a comprehensive list of all of the differences on its website. Over the past few days, Rivian's also announced that the exterior colour options for the R1T have now been set. They are Compass Yellow, Glacier White, Forest Green, El Cap Granite, LA Silver, Red Cyan, Launch Green, Midnight Limestone, and of course, Rivian Blue. As our scriptwriter Morgan notes here, he's actually quite happy that Rivian has gone with some brighter colour choices for a pickup, as in his words, quote, "The auto industry has become very monotone recently." No comment, Morgan. Rivian has announced that the full configuration is going to go live very soon. In fact, pre-order holders will get access to the online configuration tool starting the 16th of November, and members of the public who don't already have a reservation should be able to access it around the end of the month. We've covered all of the new information from Rivian, but if you want a refresher, let's go over the basics of what it's always offered. The R1T and R1S, by association, will have quad electric motors, one for each wheel. The top-level variants of the R1T will be capable of towing up to 11,000 pounds, which is just shy of 5 metric tons, and it will do the stoplight sprint in 3 seconds. The vehicle will have an approach angle of around 34 degrees, a departure angle of over 29 degrees, and a breakover angle of 25.7 degrees. Because of the fact that the R1T will be electric and it will have much better door seals than old trucks of the past, it will be capable of wading through water that is over 3 feet, 91 centimetres deep. And in addition to this, at its maximum height, the R1T will almost have 14.5 inches or 36 centimetres of ground clearance. The R1T also has some pretty great storage capabilities. Of course, it has a front trunk, and that alone will be capable of holding 11 cubic feet, 311 litres of storage. If you combine that with the gear tunnel that we'll come to in a second, bed and other compartments, the R1T will have in total 68 cubic feet, 1,925 litres of lockable storage capabilities, all while continuing to offer seating for 5. Some of this storage volume is clever. There's no transmission tunnel, of course, so Rivian has taken the advantage of that extra space by inventing a gear tunnel. The gear tunnel, if you don't already know, is a long, lockable storage space that runs the width of the truck behind the rear seats and under the truck bed. It can be opened from either side of the vehicle by folding down flaps. Those flaps can be used as seats or even as steps to help you load gear onto the roof. That gear tunnel can be used to store anything long, golf clubs, surfboards, anything else you can think of. Rivian will sell an option for the R1T that will allow that gear tunnel to be used as a roll-out camping kitchen, but so far we don't have an official price for that. Apart from the gear tunnel, the R1T will also have that lockable bed cover. As we already mentioned, a manual cover will ship with the Explore trim, and an automatic cover will come with the Adventure spec. As well as this, Rivian has demonstrated the ability for bars to be mounted above either the bed or on top of the roof. They can be clipped or unclipped and moved back and forth or removed completely when they're not needed. This further highlights the adventure pickup vibe rather than the work truck vibe. Moving inside, the first thing that the R1T customer will notice is the dual screen display, which is very much adventure sport truck rather than functional work vehicle. One screen sits behind the steering wheel while the other one is above the center console. Like other EVs on the market, you'll be able to get over-the-air updates for your R1T, and of course, it will come with a smartphone app. Rivian is going to use some of Amazon's technology. Amazon is a big investor in Rivian and will use Alexa as its integrated voice assistant. And as is becoming standard within the industry, there's 4G connectivity as standard. 6 USB and 4 110-volt outlets will be provided with the truck, and Rivian is also following the lead of other truck companies by offering a panoramic glass roof. In a throwback to the company's original roots, it will also bring some driver assistant features to market that might be seen as some by a rival for Tesla's autopilot. This system will use radar sensors, ultrasonic sensors, and vision-based systems for Rivian's semi-autonomous driver system called Driver Plus. Driver Plus will allow automatic lane changing, speed, and steering control. It will also offer emergency braking and other driver safety features. Driver Plus will be included as standard in every Rivian vehicle at no additional cost, And as autopilot does, it will continue to improve over time through over-the-air updates. Rivian is not planning to ever lock any of its autonomous vehicle features behind a paywall, but if that changes, we'll let you know. With all of these new trucks coming to market and all of these new driver assistance systems, perhaps it is now time for a comparison video, and while we haven't mentioned rival companies much in today's show, I would love to know if you'd like us to do more head-to-head, so let us know below. And as you might have expected, that is your lot for today. Thanks to the folks on my right for being our $15 to $49 a month Patreon supporters. Special thanks to our $50 a month patrons, that's John Lyons, Raging Fellows, Jeffrey Songster and Tesla in the Gong. And our deepest gratitude to our $100 a month Patreon supporters. That's Marcel Ward, Reggie Watts, JP Fagerback, Sean Ueda, Will Graylin and Ian. If you'd like to join all of these fantastic supporters, you can do so by following the links below, or you can send us a donation through Ko-fi or Bitcoin. You'll also find a link to our free Discord server, so sign up and come and join in the fun. And as it's nearly the holidays, if you're in need of some swag, do make sure you visit our merch store over at Redbubble. We're adding new store content all the time, and as the holiday season is nearly upon us and you can't go shopping in stores, it's a great time to grab swag for your loved ones, all while supporting the channel too. After the names have finished scrolling, you'll see a suggestion for a new video to watch, so please consider watching it if you haven't, and I will be back very soon. Thanks for joining me, and as always, keep evolving!